Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Mouth of the Tyne, live with, tonight, one of our most popular Saudi followers, ALWALEED. Welcome to the show, ALWALEED. How are you doing?
Good evening, all. Good evening, men. Thank you for having me. First of all, my deepest condolences for all UK citizen for passing of the Queen. God may rest her soul.
Yeah. Thanks, ALWALEED. That's really kind words of you, man. I'm sure everyone watching will appreciate that. So it's a very nice way to start the show. Thank you, mate. So welcome, man. Been looking forward to getting you on for a while. Like I said in the tweets, I think you are maybe the most well-known Saudi Toon fan that we have, part of the Toon army, from your part of the world. But yeah, it's you're obviously very popular amongst the fan base. People like you. I've always liked you, even though we've never really chatted much face to face like this. Always found you a very nice gentleman, and you're a big Newcastle fan, so you can't go wrong. You know, it's always a pleasure to interact with you. So thanks for coming on the show, man.
No, thank you for having me, and I'm honored. As they always say, once a Geordie, always a Geordie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, see, it doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. You know, it's if you're from London, if you're from Saudi Arabia, from America, doesn't matter, man. We're all one happy family. Well, we are happy now. We didn't used to be happy, but now we are since the 7th of October last year.
Yes, and it's almost 1 month before the takeover anniversary.
It is, yes. Have you got anything planned for the anniversary? Are you having a little party in Saudi?
Well, of course, and we have also shows. We're starting doing a lot of shows, and I'm trying to come to Newcastle in anniversary. Just I'm waiting my brother. He have a new work, and I'm just waiting to come with him to Newcastle soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, have a good time, whatever you do. I'm sure we'll all be celebrating. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully we'll get a win against Brentford too, and that'll make it extra special on the 8th.
Definitely, we're gonna win against Brentford.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's. I think it could be our next home game. The way things are shaping up. If Bournemouth doesn't go ahead next week, Brentford could be the next in line. So yeah, fingers crossed we can still maybe get Bournemouth up and running next week. But you know, it's difficult circumstances, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But so I just want to get started on, you know, how things are in your part of the world with regards to Newcastle. You know, football's why we're here. Football's why we want to talk. How's things changed since the 7th of October last year? You know, how have people's perceptions changed? And you know, can you enlighten us a little bit on that?
Sure, Ben. It's here in Saudi Arabia, as I see before many shows, we love Premier League in general. We like this champion, and we know it's we believe it's the first in the world. So everybody have a team or more in Premier League. They support the Premier League in general. Sometimes, especially in Champions League, no matter who play, we support the team in general. Sometimes maybe they hate that team or they didn't support it, but in general they love Premier League. So now after the takeover Newcastle, Saudi become more interested in Newcastle. A lot of them switch teams because Newcastle, it's they consider it as there is a relation between Saudi Arabia BIF and the fans, so they like the idea. We having now a team in Premier League, not just like supporting for because we like that team or we like that player. No, we support it like because we feel it's a part.
It's a connection, isn't it? Now there's a Saudi connection. It makes you feel more part of the club, I guess.
Yes, and I notice also fans of La Liga, Spanish league as well. They try to watch Newcastle games, and as you can see, we can Twitter accounts. We have thousands Twitter accounts, and maybe half of them are in the no accounts here in Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah.
They have a lot of accounts opening, and also a lot of shows. Yeah, but my show is still my number one, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I started earlier
Yeah.
doing the shows, and
Yeah.
it was really and the COVID pandemic helped us in starting this kind of shows, because I wasn't have any idea to do the shows after all, but sitting at homes during the quarantine curfew, we become more creative.
Yeah, of course. I feel the same. I've really enjoyed doing this the past month or so, and I kind of wish I had started a little bit earlier, maybe around COVID or maybe just around the time of the takeover. So I'm a little bit late to the party, but here I am. I'm trying.
No,
So
you're
we'll see
doing
how it
really
goes.
great and enjoying your shows.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. But yeah, no, it's great to hear that. Like you say, Saudi Arabian people love football. It's obviously a very popular sport over there, and like you say, people might have had multiple teams, like one from La Liga, one from Bundesliga, one from Premiership, but now there has been like the influx of Newcastle United mania. You have that connection with PIF, the owners, the majority shareholders of NUFC. So I can see why we're starting to become very popular. Are you seeing more Newcastle United shirts in the streets? Do you see any of that out and about?
Yes, it's increasing, and especially the one I'm wearing now,
Yeah,
because
yeah, very
the
popular.
Saudi team connection.
Yeah,
It just I like really to wear it. Because just to spite some haters,
yeah. No, I totally get that. I mean,
the journalists and stuff.
yeah. Like I say, we won't go into it too deep tonight, but we've heard, certain parties criticize, Saudi Arabia for certain things. But something I've always kind of found positive is the fact that it's a country at least from my perspective, it seems to be a country that's trying to change. It's trying to make itself better. It's trying to improve aspects, of society. It's getting there slowly but surely. That's how I perceive it. And certainly, I've seen some of these, some of the
Yeah,
plans.
we already Ben. Sorry if I interrupt, but we
Yeah, yeah,
already do that, and since a long time ago. Just
yes,
the media, some media, they just they just create things, and they are not really sure what they are talking about.
yes, yes. There's lots of misinformation as well, I presume. Yeah. So I mean, like I say, I saw a few days ago the really long city out in the desert. Is it the line? Is it the line or something like that?
Yeah, the line. It's a new
That
project.
looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, any country that can plan and then supposedly build something along those lines. Obviously, they've got very good architects, very good plans, very good ideas. It looks amazing. I would love to come and visit that when it's built. I love the mirror edging. The shuttles from one end to the other. It just looks fantastic. Very like futuristic. Yeah, so it's obviously
A lot of projects going on, and once it's finished, it will be amazing. The
yes,
line and Al-Ula, Neom,
yes,
Al-Giddi, a lot of new projects.
yeah, man. It looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's like I say, it's really nice to have that kind of perspective from Saudi Arabia. It's nice for us at this end, to hear how the perception of the club is over there. Obviously, we have grown in the last 12 months. The fan base is getting bigger. It's getting more worldwide, and it's nice to have people like yourself on to to join the dots, to show the connections that we're building. Hopefully in the future we can have a lot of Premier League teams big in China. For instance, something like that. We might be able to get Chinese Newcastle United fans on. It'll be like a worldwide, global, network of Newcastle fans from all around the world. And obviously America, that's another very popular destination for Premier League fans. So it's nice to be able to build these bridges and create a whole network of Newcastle United fans around the world, man. It's really good.
I wish if we have we can see it's almost a year, and brand is building and spread overseas. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I really wish if we have that that signing. And for example, I wish to have Gareth Bale earlier in the summer. We need at least. I know we need young lads and some players with passion, with future plans and with ambitious. But it will not hurt if we bring merchandise. I think merchandise name, Merky signing. I don't know how they call it.
Who was it? Sorry, Pulisic, was it from Chelsea? Did you say?
No, Gareth Bale, for example. Someone have big name.
Like a marquee signing,
marquee signing. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
At least one. I wish we have this one.
Yeah. I agree. Moving on to football, the channel as it's the team as it stands at the minute, I do feel like I've said this on numerous shows. We are, I think, still 2 players short. Personally, I would have liked a defensive midfielder. I've said this a few times now. It's very important to have someone to protect that back line. With Shelvey being injured, and then with Bruno getting his injury, we've seen Longstaff come in. Now, don't want to criticise too much. We're not really going to go down that route tonight. But Longstaff isn't up to the standard of, let's say, Shelvey and Bruno. So I do feel that was a big hole in the team where, we should have filled it. It should have been a priority, get a defensive midfielder, and then you could play Bruno further forward. Do you agree with that, ALWALEED? Is that something you would do?
Yes, and we don't know what's going on with Eddie Howe mind about this point, but he feel confident. Maybe he want to make the players he have confident in that area. Gillinton doing really great. Also Longstaff, but the position of number 10, we didn't have a position number 10, position number 10 in the team.
So someone like Madison would have been really good in that position.
Yeah, which affect really and make a lot of pressure on the defensive midfielder. So his lineup 4-3-3, he liked to have this great defense midfielder as 2 player. So he have Gillinton, and anyone with Gillinton can work. Longstaff, Bruno. He I don't know. He think this is acceptable, and he have Willock. But really, I think we play different now than before. Before we play to avoid relegation. This season is different. We play for compete, and sometimes this is maybe it's not harder as it's make you for regulation. You play hard some games and you feel safe, and that's it. But if you want to compete, you have to win every game and put the maximum every game. Not like certain games like what happened in relegation.
And especially
that's what make you make a lot of injuries, unfortunately.
So, and to win those points against the big teams, like the current top 6, let's say, I often feel you do need a very good defensive midfielder to screen the back line, because even if, like, let's say you're winning 1-0 and there's 10 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go, that is the time when you would really want your defensive midfielder to kick in, whether that's from the bench or whether they've been, playing the whole match already. I think you just need that extra quality in there. And also it would, like I said, I know I'm repeating things, but it would free Bruno up, and we could, get him causing issues at the other end for the other team. So I hope that's maybe something we do address in January.
And let's not forget Shar. He can play that spot if he needed. Eddie Howe.
Yeah, very true. Let's hope he's fit very soon. So we've got a question here from Mark. He was a good lad. Nice to see you tonight, Mark. He says he's asking, does ALWALEED know anything in RIA and the possibility of sponsoring NUFC? Do you know much regarding that, ALWALEED?
Well, as far as I know, first of all, Raya is Riyadh International Airport, and Raya, the short Raya in Arabic, it means the good wind, wind. And also, as I hear, there will be 2 sponsorship or major sponsorship next season. Big source says is gonna be STC, is a Saudi telecom company, and this one also running over here that the airline, it's really possible to be a sponsor. So I think there is a lot of truth in it.
Yeah, you think they might be the main sponsor, possibly, on the front, because obviously that's going to be a huge company that they really want to take off, if you excuse the pun. So I think they could be on the front of the shirt, maybe. Don't know if you feel like that.
But I'm not really sure about. I don't know about the rules. That rules that it's PIF. Like known, for example, is 50% for PIF. So
yes,
if this one is 100% to PIF, how it's work when this has happened? But the timing is not coincidence. We've been hearing a lot about it before, but we didn't know the name. We know that a big company for airplane company will join and will have from PIF side, and here it comes. But because the competition and because the season start, nobody give it much thought, and especially with the Fan 88 stuff. But I think this is going to be major topic next season or end of the season.
Yeah, man. Let's hope so, and it should mean more money for the transfer kitty, which will be good.
Of course.
Yeah, let's hope it's a big one. But so another topic I wanted to speak to you about was when you came to the UK, you were a big smash hit. Everyone loved ALWALEED. It was great fun watching your travels home and away. I loved it. You got stranded at one point, didn't you? Where was that at again? When the bus left you?
Yeah, this one. It's like I'm kind of I don't know. It's weird, the story really, but I'm kind of glad the bus left me.
Yeah.
Because this helped my channel really fast.
Yeah, it was good. You got a lot of they say, bad press is good press. So it was.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah, man.
It was really and it was like a happy day. I went without a ticket to the Brighton just to make a show on the bus.
Yeah.
And suddenly I got invited by the club. So that was really surprising me. So I remember I didn't take much time. After the game, I went to the bus. And I didn't think that I was late, but because maybe I guess I was very happy, over the moon. So I didn't have. I lost the track of time. Maybe know.
Yeah, man. Well,
and when I went there, the bus left. It was funny, really weird.
And did you get a roof over your head that night? Were you okay eventually? Did you find accommodation for the night?
Well, it wasn't about that. It just I was engaged. A big appointment, a big meeting the next day.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna leave soon.
Yeah, I remember.
Back to Saudi Arabia. So.
Yeah.
So I was really in a hurry. So I didn't. No, I didn't sleep. I just tried to travel to London by time. Yeah. So I just want to get back to the 20 quickly, and I arrived in the right time.
Yeah, it was great. We were all following your adventures on Twitter that night. It was really, really fascinating. What's Kenny saying here? No ticket, but sat with Eddie Howe. Yes. This was what I wanted to speak to you about. I think you must have been one of the first fans to get a picture with Eddie. together as a fan with our new manager. Is that right? I'm sure you were. You must have been.
Yes, because actually that time I didn't. I know we're getting a new manager, but my Twitter account was held by my brother because I was very busy, and we went to keep the media and running. So I didn't know back then what happened. But I remember one of my friend, a journalist, he told me that Waleed, keep an eye on the new coach. We hear he is coming, and I think he was meaning Eddie Howe.
Yes.
So yeah, and that time I asked the officials. Can I see the owners? I want to thank them for inviting me. And they said we didn't understand. They thought I am from the owners. You know.
Yeah.
They got.
Yeah.
I don't know what. My English is fine. Why they didn't get understand?
Yeah.
I said no. Where are they? I want to thank them. So after explanation, she said, "Okay, you will be with them. Thank them when you see them." So I didn't expect that I'm sitting next to them. So before the game start, we saw Eddie Howe and Amanda sitting next to me. So I was shocked and surprised, and try to act cool and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I my phone, the messages from the journalist.
Yeah.
ALWALEED, is Eddie Howe there or no? So I decided to take a selfie and a photo between the two halves. And I posted. Yeah, I remember I posted that time.
It was absolutely fantastic because I remember it was a televised match too. So it was, I was sitting at home watching it, and you had the blonde hair at the time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you still have the blonde hair.
And my wife was watching as well, and she texted me that time, and she said, "ALWALEED, get down because you are not up here." So I was doing like this to be in the camera. and actually, Ben, this one, I don't know, but how we can say it in a good way. After that day, I got a lot of, hopefully not a lot, but I got few haters after that time, and it was really weird for me.
Yeah, something I've noticed, ALWALEED, on Twitter or maybe social media in general. Anytime that anybody gets something that others aren't getting, whether that's screen time, a free gift, a VIP treat, tickets for something, anything like that, it never goes down well with a small minority of, the usual suspects, let's say. Certain people don't like people to succeed or to, find happiness or to have something, extraordinary happen to them. And that's kind of what happened to you. Obviously, the majority were really buzzing for you. Everybody was, I thought it was great. And I know a lot of my followers.
Yeah, it was. Thank you, Ben, for explanation. But it really was greatest night of my life, and really it was a surprise, and it got emotional because how we spent waiting this takeover and fighting together on Twitter and social media to get what we deserve, really.
Yeah, it was a long time coming, wasn't it? And 14 years of garbage, really. And then to have not only new owners come in, but possibly the best owners you could possibly imagine. And then for yourself to come over and kind of go on this whirlwind adventure. It must have been really, really special. I'm trying to think, if I was in your shoes and I did something similar, coming from another country to the UK and kind of my club was under new ownership. I'm trying to imagine how that would feel just to come and visit St. James's Park. But you got so much more than that. You got an away trip. You met the owners. You met Eddie. You had the bus blow up. It's like brilliant.
And Ben, it's the great thing that I feel. I really feel home, and it's weird because when I go in the city, people know me and and say hi, and they are very nice, and they are welcoming, warm welcoming, and I really like that feeling with. I didn't feel that it's first time I go to Newcastle, but I didn't feel that it's first time. So it's really makes
it felt
really
like you were home.
emotion, yes, and it's I
man.
really love that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the city's always been, very friendly to outsiders, to newcomers. But something I've noticed since the takeover is that, especially on match day, it's like, the atmosphere in and around the city has improved, like even more so than it ever was. People are speaking to people that they've never spoken to before. People are putting, arms around each other and having a good time. And there's like a crazy like bond and unity between fans that have never met each other before. And especially in the stadium, I've noticed too, it's gone up a notch. It's like you might be sitting next to somebody that you don't know, but you'll end up like chatting to them all game, going crazy with each other when you score. It really is very noticeable. I think after 14 years under Ashley, we were the lowest of the low. We couldn't get any lower with regards to morale and how we were feeling, and it was very much just going through the motions, as we say. It was a routine. Just go to the game, not particularly happy, come home, rinse, repeat. But now people actually want to go again. People want to go, and they've all got smiling faces, and that's football. It's escapism, it's hope, and it's ambition. And like without those factors, there's no point. But now we have all that. We've got hope, we've got ambition. So it makes for great escapism. It's entertainment. It's fun. It's enjoyable again. It's enjoyable again.
Yes, Ben, and I just remember that first game I went to Chelsea. I was with my mate Paul Oxley,
Yes.
and they always said you will not forget, and it was a coincidence, but he said you will never. And they always said you will never forget first one who you sit next to. So it was Chelsea game 3-0, unfortunately defeat, but. As you said, everybody was happy because they took over, and we know this is just a temporary phase. We're gonna beat them a lot soon, every time as well. So I remember just a lot of fans came. Are you ALWALEED? I said yes, and they were so nice, and they tried to offer me this the season ticket. Anytime, any game you want, take picture of my season ticket if you want to come. So they asked me this, and I don't know why I was doing this. So I said, did you subscribe to my channel in YouTube?" So Paul says, "Crazy! They offering you season ticket, and you ask them subscribe to my video channel." It was a really good day.
Yeah, it's great, man. Great stories, man. So, will we be seeing you again in the future? This season, maybe? Are you making an appearance?
Of course.
You're going to try and come and see us.
I'm coming with my brother this time. With my
nice.
brother, who everybody know him as Mr. L, and we do the show together, especially in starting before he getting the new job.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be great, man. Yeah, looking forward to see you. Drop me a message. I missed you last time, but if you're trying, we'll try and meet up. It'll be great to see you in person. But so just as we kind of draw the conversation to a close, just want to kind of get your thoughts on this season. What do you think is possible this season? And then we'll look at the future after that. But let's say this season, what would you think we can achieve, ALWALEED?
Well, Ben, this is a great question, and as you see, some teams suffering, so it's a chance to really get a European spot. We know we know. I don't care what they said. It's we want to be 8 to 10. We want this season. We want a European spot, even if the Conference League. We really need to play in Europe. And if you notice the games against the friendly games before the season, it was all against European teams. So this is the plan, and we want to take advantage of the other teams. I think they are suffering. See Leicester, I think they are still the last team.
Yeah, Leicester's poor.
So yeah, and those teams who are usually to be ahead of us and 7th position, like Leicester, they are remember fighting for Champions League spot. West Ham, so we are better than them. There is a Brighton, but here the big man went to Chelsea. So this is also this is good news for us. But the thing is, we didn't get that. We needed a couple of signings at the end of this transfer window. But hopefully, now to 13 games ahead or 12 games ahead before World Cup.
Yeah.
So I wish if we maybe we have some money to spend in the January. Hopefully, we get some signings to help us in the last run to a European spot. I think we are doing okay. I know we didn't have what we really want, what we really need yet. But the good thing is the other team also have same situation, and I think we can do better than them. I'm really angry from the VAR thing.
We've been so unlucky, man. It's been so frustrating. I tweeted before the game last week. I tweeted like I wondered which VAR decision was going to go against us on Saturday, and it was tongue in cheek. I didn't really think that there would be another VAR decision, and then lo and behold, there was actually another VAR decision that went against us, and it was like we're actually joking about it pre-match, and then during the game we're seeing it. So it's it's like it's gone beyond a joke now. It's like we're losing points because of this. This is serious. This, I guess it's happened to other teams, but that we could have had the penalty against Man City when Shea got knocked over in the box. The Wilson high boot, the Longstaff tug on a shirt. It's all these incidents. It's like and the Willock one was the worst of them all. Because
and last season as well, I remember against Liverpool, the Fraser penalty. Many occasions.
That one was a great example. I know which one you mean, the Fraser one. Yeah, there's been so many, but the Willock one in particular, it felt really, it felt like a real kick in the teeth, because essentially what they did was they made up their own rules of the game. Essentially there was only two options. It was either blow for a foul on Willock and give the penalty, or allowed the attacking team to play on. The foul happened, and it was their own goal, and that's the end of it. There is only two options, but they chose to not look at the angle for whatever reason, which is crazy in itself. Apparently, I heard they only looked at one angle, and it was done like that, and then it was just ruled out. They couldn't see what we were seeing at home, which is infuriating. So it was a tough one to take. That it really was. It felt like it was just, and this is where we've joked about in the past, like the Premier League is corrupt, is a conspiracy against Newcastle United. But stranger things have happened, and even as a neutral, if you were looking at these decisions, you'd be thinking, actually, this is very, very suspicious. Like, are they just really inept and poor, or is there something deeper and darker, that's going on, a mysterious force trying to rob Newcastle United of points? How do you feel on that, ALWALEED? Do you think there's a conspiracy, or are they just crap?
Well, Ben, the takeover happened. So why are you just getting revenge because the takeover happened legally? What's the thing? What's to deal with here? Yeah. I like the club, West Ham and Newcastle. They escalate this issue, which was what we really need. We needed the escalation because Premier League, after all, they have to have fear from the justice of the game, reputation, because some fan some account says 2 words on Twitter. He said, every game, I was questioning Premier League, every game you're doing this, this is really boring, and the tight game really need justice, and the VAR, they use the VAR. The main purpose of the VAR is to avoid any mistake, any obvious mistake, which is weird. This is obvious mistake, so this is make them really, it's really a shame. But I believe with the escalation, hopefully this will not last longer, and I hopefully, and they can't do it every game now. It's really because the escalation will become bigger, and this will affect really Premier League.
Yeah, I agree.
I believe they just want to. I don't know. If you look to the standing table, the top 6, all in the it's all in the first position, maybe except Liverpool. So I think they want to do separation. And give them more solid position before World Cup. I think this is what's going on.
It's just the big VAR decisions never seem to go against the big teams, which is, and this is the issue. It's not like every team is complaining and saying, look, VAR's not working, the officials are crap. It's only the other 14. It's the rest of us. We're the ones suffering. The bigger teams just breeze on every week. It never the big decisions in VAR never affect the big teams, and that's something that's you can't get away from that. That's why the tension's being drawn to it.
And most of Newcastle games are close games, so any wrong decision by the referee will affect the result. Yeah,
of course, man. These are the fine margins, and this is what I tweeted last week as well. I said, like, if we had played West Ham this weekend, let's say we'd lost, West Ham won, which could have easily happened. West Ham, although they've been out of form, West Ham could beat us on their day, and that would have left us quite low down the table. And likewise, if we'd won, we could have been somewhere near the top of the table. But what I mean is, like, these are the fine decisions that VAR is creating. It's kind of it's manipulating the table to suit Premier League needs. And I think we have highlighted it as a club, and other clubs have highlighted it. So hopefully, I don't personally feel that there is a conspiracy. My personal opinion is that we just have absolutely terrible officials that are in very high positions, such as Lee Mason, demoted from the Premier League list of referees, but still, sweetened the deal by giving him a VAR job. If he's not fit to referee anymore, he shouldn't be refereeing at all. Maybe just, get rid of the guy completely.
Anyone can work in VAR. Anyone, even if he's not a referee, and can get better call.
I know there's a time for ex-players. A lot of people have time for, saying that it's time ex-players did it as a job, pundits. And arguably, it's not a bad call, especially for... And another thing what I saw this week was the automated offside, no checking of VAR. It was just automated. That was in the Champions League, I believe. That looks brilliant. So we could get rid of VAR for that and just have an automated system, a bit like the goal line technology, what we've had for years. Hawkeye, it's similar to that. It tells you whether you're offside. It's no debate, no drawn lines. So that would handle that. I think that will come in, that could maybe come in next season or the season after. But with regards to fouls, we just need somebody to use their brain, it's really not that hard. Fans, you, me, the rest of the guys watching, we see these fouls every week. We're jumping out of our seats, whether it's at home or at the game, and we're screaming, that's a foul. And everyone is in agreement, even opposition teams, everyone's agreement. So if the whole football fan base, regardless of what team, if they can spot a foul on an obvious error, then so should the people in charge. So that's all I've got to say on that.
Yeah, that's what happened. Willock was really pushed toward to the goalkeeper. So
Yeah,
how he didn't see that, I don't know.
yeah. It's like they only choose to notice part of the period of play. It was like, let's look at what happened like after the Willock push. Not like let's look at Willock. Oh yeah, he's been pushed. There's the foul, there's the contact with the keeper, but it's okay because he's been pushed. It was like, oh no, he's just fouled the keeper. Well, it's like you have to look why he fouled the keeper. You can't just essentially it's just picking and choosing pieces of the puzzle to create your own image of what you want to happen. But obviously they looked really stupid because we were all sitting at home seeing these multiple angles. Or if you're at the match, I was at the match. I was actually down the Leazes end, pretty much in line with the incident. I was sitting just on the corner and I was looking directly at it. And to me, it just looked like a perfectly good goal. It looked like an own goal, which it was, but I didn't see any major foul. I couldn't see that well, but it didn't look very obvious. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't obvious enough to be like, yeah, that needs to be ruled out. And obviously when we got home, we watched the replays, and it was obvious, but obvious that it was a goal, not obvious that it was a foul committed by Willock. So I don't know. Let's hope we have more better luck.
There is a video. I don't know if you watch it or not. Some fan pretend like his room it was the VAR, and he was talking to the ref. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was absolutely
blame it on me. We didn't want to obsess the bosses. Remember the training.
Yeah, it was. I saw a couple of good videos this week. There was one. Some fans did like a Chelsea and West Ham one, and the Newcastle one as well. That was all in one skit. And then I saw that other one, what you're talking about too.
Actually, I didn't watch Chelsea. Please send it to me if you have.
Yeah, I'll try and find that for you. Really funny. But so we've got Mark here again. Any truth in PIF looking to buy Inter, or was it just old news coming around again? Well, I hadn't heard this news coming back around again. I heard it a while ago, but is that news now? Is that what's happening? Does it look like...
first of all, Ben, actually, I don't really care about Inter Milan now.
Yeah.
Especially we get after takeover. But this was bumping always during the takeover. And I keep saying, look to the source. It was Gazzetta, La Della Gazzetta from Italy, which they said BF went to buy Roma. They want to buy AC Milan. And third team, it was Inter Milan. They just want to keep, I think they just want to keep the clubs, maybe some rumors sometimes help the stocks market, the team. There is no truth in that at all.
Yeah. The Italian press as well are notorious for just being quite untrue. If you think our press is bad and we make up things, in our press, I think yourself, Italy is up there with fabrication of rumors and nonsense. So I would probably put it in that category. So, well, ALWALEED, we're getting to the end of the show. Little thank you there for Mark. No problem, mate. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is what I want the show to be. I want, real fans, Twitter personalities, people that kind of we know only a fraction of, we know a little bit who the online persona is, but I want to get into, delve into the real people. We had Steve Wraith on last night. He gave us a bit of his history, about, how he started supporting the Toon and previous jobs. And obviously we've had you give us an insight into how things are unfolding in Saudi. We've got Sean Casey on next week at some point. I think it's going to be Wednesday now. So, we're trying to get the big hitters of Twitter following, over into YouTube. That's kind of the idea behind this show, giving the Twitter personalities a YouTube face, and I think it's going down really well so far. So I hope you're enjoying the shows, ALWALEED.
Thank you first for saying that I'm a big hater. I'm not. Thank you.
Man. No, you are, man. Yeah, I love it, man. It's great. I love all the different people you meet on Twitter, and ultimately, that's why I've never given up on the platform. Made some great friends on there, and it's friends that have pushed me into doing this. I always said when I got the 20,000 followers, which is crazy, absolutely crazy, on Twitter, that I would branch into YouTube. And here we are a month later, and we've got guests on like yourself from different parts of the world, and it's just great, man. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm going to continue it till the end of the season at least. Do a full season of shows like this. Let's build a community. Just from my perspective, my Twitter platform has always been about kind of retweeting fans and giving fans a voice. Smaller accounts that don't have a voice or a very loud voice, always happy to retweet things and get their message out there. And ultimately, I kind of want to bring that over to YouTube. And we've already had some small fan forums with 4 or 5 guests on after a match. That's something what I would like you to join us. I don't know about the time difference, but if it's ever possible, join us after a game for the full Tyne whistle show, and we'll do like a fan forum. And yeah, man, it'd be great to have you on that one so we can discuss a game too.
Happy to, Ben, and it's only 2 hours. So
yes,
it's only 2 hours.
Forget that it's not as extreme as as some people might think. Yeah, I remember that now.
If, for example, if it's 6 at night at UK, it's 8 in Saudi Arabia at night. That's it. Well, thank you. All the thanks to you, really, Ben. It was an honor and happy to chat with you and with the messages I was reading. Really appreciate your comments and hope to have you soon in my channel as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just give me a message and we'll arrange that. Happy to reciprocate it. Yeah, man. So right, ALWALEED, we'll say goodbye to our followers. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I say, we've got Sean Casey next week. Love him or hate him, he's coming on the show. And we've got a few other surprise guests lined up as well. There's going to be no football for a week at least, possibly 2, possibly more. Depends on if you count international football as football, which some people aren't bothered about. But if it's not Newcastle, but we'll see. I'm hoping we still get to play Bournemouth next week. Fingers crossed. So yeah, join us next week for Sean Casey. And just want to thank ALWALEED once again. Thank you very much, mate. And
thank you, Ben, and HOWAY the lads.
Yeah, HOWAY the lads. I'm Ben from Mouth of the Tyne. Thank you very much. See you later, guys. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. Cheers.